Hello, everyone. I'm Ayanna Thompson. I'm the director of the Arizona Center for Medieval and Renaissance Studies, and it's my honor to welcome you all to the third Race4Race Symposium. Race4Race began as an act of scholarly justice. When the International Congress of Medieval Studies rejected a set of proposals for sessions on race and anti-racism by medievalists of color, we responded by creating an alternative conference series to build professional community by and for scholars of color working on issues of race in pre-modern literature, history, and culture. A first of its kind, the symposium brings together scholars who are at the vanguard of medieval and early modern studies. And these scholars not only put race into the heart of their archival and theoretical frameworks, but also they think critically about the ways that they, as pre-modern race scholars, function as activists in our fields and in our communities. It may be hard to imagine, but today marks only 1 year since the first Race4Race Symposium. Since that first meeting, we have secured funding to continue the conference for at least 5 years, for 2 meetings a year. We've formed an official executive board. We have several forthcoming publications, and we have established partnerships with numerous prominent national and international institutions. However, in my mind, these accomplishments would be insignificant if we were not also working to change some of the structural and systemic issues in our profession. At its heart, Race4Race aims to address pipeline issues explicitly by creating publishing opportunities at the senior and junior levels throughout the year. As many of you may have experienced firsthand, it is not easy to publish work on pre-modern race studies, especially if you're an early career researcher. We need dedicated book series. We need special editions of top-tier journals. We need scholars of color on every editorial board of our major publications, and perhaps we even need a new journal. The executive board of Race4Race has been addressing each one of these pipeline and publishing issues, and it is my honor to announce that we have a book series with the University of Pennsylvania Press. Likewise, Race4Race aims to change the older, hyper-competitive, hyper-status-conscious conference model by being a space in which everyone can and should be nurtured intellectually, professionally, and personally. That is accomplished not only by building networking and mentoring and advising sessions into each Race4Race gathering, but also by the very structure of the symposium itself that allows for a true community to cohere over the short span of 2 days. And part of the structure, I don't know if it's apparent to you, but I'll talk more about it in a minute, is that there's equal time for the talks, the Q&As or workshops, and then for networking, socializing, right? So there's equal time for each of those. Finally, Race4Race aims to change the ways our scholarly peers, collegiate and secondary teachers, and creative artists and arts professionals help society to imagine the past. People of color have always been here, including in the medieval and early modern periods. And Race4Race makes the reality of that visible in both the past and the present. If it takes a village to raise a child, it takes at least that to raise an agent of scholarly justice. The largest debt of gratitude then goes to the executive board, who thought that they were simply giving talks at a symposium in 2019, but who are now helping to conceptualize, organize, and fundraise on behalf of Race4Race. While not all of the board members are here today, I want them all to be recognized. So if you are here, please stand when you're named. Patricia Akimi, David Sterling Brown, Sita Chakanti, Urvashi Chakravarti. By the way, her book was just accepted into our new book series. Kim Hall, who can't be with us because she's ill, but thank you, Kim. Jonathan Shu, Farah Kareem, Dorothy Kim, Noemi Ndaye, Shakufa Razabzadeh can't be with us because she's finishing her dissertation, so go Shakufa! Carla Maria Thomas also can't be with us today, but we thank her as well. And last but not least, Cord Whittaker. The second round of thanks must go to Arizona State University for putting into practice its charter that the institution will be, quote, measured not by whom it excludes, but by whom it includes and how they succeed. It is no accident, then, that Race4Race was initially conceived and funded by an institution that thinks that there should be no tension between access, excellence, and impact. I want to thank President Michael Crow and the President's Office for providing ACMRS with strategic initiative funding for this symposium. And I'd also like to thank Dean Jeffrey Cohen and the college's Division of Humanities for their financial and intellectual support as well. Dean Cohen is actually at a meeting with the President right now, but I know he'll be with us later and tomorrow. I would also like to thank everyone who gave to the Travel Fund for Early Career Researchers. Because of your support, which came in various monetary amounts, ACMRS was able to grant 15 travel awards. If you're here and you got a travel award, stand up. Woo! In addition, we have just been told that an anonymous donor is giving a significant recurring gift in honor of Mary Rombaran Olm, recognizing her passion, vision, I'm gonna choke up, scholarship and courage. Sorry. All right, I'm pulling it together. All right. The anonymous donor writes, quote, "Long may she thrive and one day find joy in a new anti-racist post-humanities she helped to create. Please consider adding to this gift so that Race4Race can continue to support our courageous early career researchers. Every penny that we get, we give out to the Early Career Travel Awards. So every single penny that we got went out. So please consider giving." Okay, all right, done. Finally, and most importantly, I want to thank the staff at ACMRS. Race4Race is now a large endeavor, and they have worked hard to make sure that everything runs smoothly. I'm very lucky to have such great staff. They're amazing people. So please stand and be recognized. I know some of you are out in the hall, but pull them all in. Okay, Jeff Way, our new manager of Publishing Futures. Roy Rukila, our managing editor of ACMRS Press. Todd Halverson, the manager of production and design for our press. Leah Newsom, who is on maternity leave with baby Ruby, and she came just for fun. She's our marketing and communications specialist. Sue Cox, our business operations manager. And finally, Terry Kessler, my administrative assistant, who helped to arrange all of the travel and accommodations for our speakers, which is Herculean. If you have a chance, please take a moment to thank them for all the love and care that they put into this event, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. I would like to take a moment to tell you about upcoming ACMRS events. Tonight at 7 o'clock in this room, Marlon James, the Man Booker award-winning author, will give our ACMRS annual distinguished lecture, Reclaiming the Fantasy Novel. The lecture is free and open to the public. It's here at 7 o'clock. And following that, there will be a book signing. So you can buy a book and have him sign it and meet him. It also gives me great pleasure to announce the next 2 Race4Race events. The next one will take place from September 10th to 12th at Brandeis University, organized by Dorothy Kim, and the theme is politics, because she wants to shy away from controversial. Then we return to beautiful Tempe in January 2021 for a symposium on education. Once we have firm dates for the events after that, we will make them publicly available, but you should plan to travel to New Jersey, Toronto, Chicago, and London. Ooh. A quick word about extra events during this symposium. Through the generosity of Dean Jeffrey Cohen and the college's Division of Humanities, we are able to offer free headshots to any scholars in attendance who would like to have them taken. We recognized that many early career researchers do not have professional headshots to use in events like these, and Dean Cohen immediately offered to pay for the photographers. So please sign up at the registration table if you're interested. We are also offering a dialogue on negotiating at today's lunch break. We will meet at 1 o'clock in the Tooker boardroom, which is on the same floor. So if this event is specifically aimed for early career researchers and scholars of color. So senior white men, please don't come. You probably know how to negotiate. This will be an informal dialogue. Okay, a word about the format of the Race4Race Symposium. As this symposium features scholars in different fields, I have structured it to inspire and produce more conversations than a typical conference allows. I'm hoping for a robust dialogue not only among the featured panelists, but also with all of you in attendance. Therefore, each presenter has designated 45 minutes, but not all of that time will be for a formal presentation. Rather, I have asked each presenter to talk for only about half of that time, and then to design the talk to flow into a discussion section or workshop that asks methodological, archival, theoretical, and/or practical questions. So be prepared to participate throughout the day, audience. However, please be mindful and look around the room before you raise your hand to ask a question. As part of the Race4Race structural change, we ask that scholars of color, women, and early career researchers be given the opportunity to ask their questions first. And of course, for issues of accessibility, we ask that everyone use a microphone when speaking. So just look around, see if there's a woman or a person of color behind you, next to you, aside from you, who's trying to get their question in, and maybe yield to them. As another part of the Race4Race structural change, I will not waste any of our valuable time by introducing the speakers individually. Instead, you can read their impressive bios in the program. So, without further ado, this is being live streamed and recorded. So the live stream is available on ASU Live, is that right? And the recorded sessions will be available on YouTube through a link of the center. So just be aware that if you're in the room, you're agreeing to those principles. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Matthew X. Vernon to the podium to deliver the first talk of Race4Race, Appropriating Du Bois, Theorizing a Romantic Consciousness. Thank you.